home of the great. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the great. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top, took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still he answered the call. And we said, be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show. Be tight, be tight, be tight. Officer Tatum show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning, you might as well go on today.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies, welcome back to another episode of The Officer Tatum. Hey, I got this really cool clip before we get into this, a tribute to Charlie Kirk that I saw, and in the spirit of always keeping things about Charlie when we go live and talk about Charlie, I want to play that clip for you guys to see it and, get the same feeling, emotional feeling I had when I saw it. I thought it was incredible. All right.
Only in America is it possible to say, you know what, I don't like the way the country is going, and to do something about it. Take that risk. Take that leap of faith. Stay involved. Trust God and act obediently. Romans 12:2 verse. That God will use all things for good for those who love him. It's bigger than you. I want you to remember that. It is bigger than you. It's bigger than me. You are here to make somebody else's life better, the pursuit of liberty and freedom. You know what gives me strength? The hundreds of thousands of you that say, Charlie, keep going.
1 Corinthians 5 and 15. So that's all pretty amazing evidence, not just intra-biblical evidence, but extra-biblical evidence that Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God of all.
All right, now it's time for me to put belt to A for people on the internet acting a fool. Now we got the love and appreciation out of the way, but I gotta say this, man. It's been boiling in me, but I also want to make sure I do it with compassion and do it Christ-like. But for everybody out here pushing conspiracies, get your head out of your rear end. It is no time to be pushing stupidity. Elijah Schaefer, I'm going to call some of these people by name because it's the most egregious that I've seen, want to request camera footage from Turning Point USA for some conspiracy. What, have you guys ever been to a Charlie Kirk event? These are staff members. They lug the footage and cameras and equipment around, and you guys want to shame them and create extra stress after they've gone through and had to be an eyewitness to this. And because you silly, I want camera footage. They got bigger things to worry about than you being stupid. They're mourning the death of their friend. They're preparing the funeral. And you want to see footage of what? I guess there's people online that are dumb enough to think that somehow this camera that we're looking at had a weapon in it. And that's what ultimately shot Charlie. I don't know if it's the devil. I don't know if it's sheer stupidity. I don't know if it's emotional irregulation, meaning that people cannot help themselves. The person shot him, seen running from the scene, on surveillance, ditched the weapon, DNA, fingerprint, shoe impressions, confessions, and they just breaking news. He just confessed online, confessions and all that. We'll get to that in a second. The camera thing was an issue. And then after all this happens, now time out. I know I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if he want his name out there. I know who's standing on that chair pulling down that camera. I know him. He's been with Turning Point forever. He's behind all of the recordings that happened. Do you think he's okay, or you think he's struggling right now? And you idiots are online saying it's suspicious because they're taking the cameras down, because they have to now pull all the tents down and stuff after their friend was just murdered. And they got to hold it together and keep composure to unravel all of that stuff that they built up for the 50th, 60th time they've done this. And you online talking about conspiracies. So allegedly, and I'm gonna continue, but I want people that are in now. Allegedly, the person confessed on Discord. He had made somewhat of a confession on Discord. Authorities say that he's not cooperating, but technically he don't need to cooperate because we got corroborative evidence that put him in the place of the crime, that got his DNA on the gun. He confessed. He was turned in by his family member. His roommate, who's a tranny, is, I guess, divulging information and all of the above. So that's there. But real quick, I want to jump to this breaking news, and then we're going to go back to me just chastising people for pushing conspiracy theories. Roll the clip.
All right, breaking right now, reports of a confession posted on Discord from Charlie Kirk's suspected assassin hours before, after the murder, but hours before his father turned him in to authorities in Utah. This is Washington Post reporting on this at this point. Justice correspondent David Spunt joining me now live from Washington. Hi, David. What can you tell us?
Hi, Martha. About 2 hours before he was turned into authorities, this according to the Washington Post. We are working to independently confirm this as well, but the Washington Post says that Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old suspect charged in Charlie Kirk's murder, confessed, and I want to read this according to the Washington Post, writing on Discord, that social media chat group that the FBI says he used, quote, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU yesterday. I'm sorry for all of this." This coming from the Washington Post. Now, this comes as DOJ officials began late last week and over the weekend looking at the potential for at least one federal charge. No guarantee they'll get there. A department spokesperson declined comment, but a source familiar said investigators are not ruling anything out at this time, especially his online gaming presence, his chats, as we just mentioned. Who was he talking to?
Now, keep him on there. Look at this weirdo. Why is it that you conspiracy theories, what do you want them to let him free? So you telling me he didn't do it? What are y'all questioning? This is another layer of confessions that have been made vicariously through his communication on Discord. What are we saying? His daddy is testifying They said he's cooperating. His daddy the one turned him in. So his daddy is testifying that his son is the person who did this. What dad will say my son did it and he didn't do it? So you think his daddy's in on it? You think they just made up some random guy on the roof? What are y'all talking about? Let's go to a couple more discrepancies that people are mentioning that's stupid. If you see somebody talking about the gun in a box in the woods with the photo of what they got as evidence, that is called an evidence box for a rifle. When we take and collect evidence, you don't just get a rifle and throw it in a locker somewhere. You got to put it in an evidence box. Therefore, you got to lock the ammo away somewhere. You got to put a zip tie through the trigger. So make sure nobody get hurt. You put it in a box and you close it up and you seal it. Therefore, we know if it's been tampered with because there's a chain of custody when it comes to equipment. You put it in a box, you cover it, then you ship it. So what happened was clearly the gun was wrapped in a towel. They took it out of the towel so that they can see the gun, so they can take a picture of what the gun is. They put it into an evidence box that they are later going to close up, seal, ship with, chain of custody to a facility where it's placed into evidence. Somebody's online saying that look at the FBI framing this. How you gonna put it in a box? This is an investigation, and this is a part of them taking a picture while they're securing this and taking it to the lab to be forensically. They probably did a little bit while they were on the scene, but they're gonna take it to a lab for it to have more of a forensic evaluation. They're gonna check the rifling in the barrel. They're gonna compare that to shell casings, all of the above. Now, this doesn't eject shell casings. You have to manually eject it, but they're going to compare all of that. All of this stuff. They do it right here in Tucson, Arizona, the biggest ballistic forensic facility in the world, right in Tucson, Arizona. And then we go on the hand signals. I dismembered that the other day. I took that. I whooped that apart because that's a security guy, and because the guy jacked, he just loosened up his arms that's in his T-shirt. That's not real. People were already messing up the image because the FBI showed you a grainy image. People put that into AI, and AI tried to make an image that was a little more presentable. That's not the FBI image that they have. So people are saying it's not the same person. Yeah, because the picture that you see that's got a lot of clarity, that picture is AI generated. That picture wasn't the original photo. So you got people saying that. They're acting like the FBI is covering this up. Do you think, this is the AI generated one. And you could tell this is the original, right? You can't see nothing on this. Go to the AI generated. The shirt is distorted because AI don't always know how to put pictures together. So the shirt is distorted. Do you really think in your heart of hearts, and this is why I get mad at all these people, do you really think in your heart of hearts that Donald Trump would allow a botched investigation into his good friend Charlie Kirk, who been with Donald Trump way back in 2015? People don't know Charlie Kirk helped Donald Trump in his first campaign. Charlie wasn't as big then, so nobody really knew who he was. You think Donald Trump gonna let them botch an investigation? You think y'all think that when you're a part of the FBI, there is investigatory principles and guidelines that everybody goes by. You think out of all that, they gonna make up a lie in front of the world on Charlie Kirk? Jeffrey Epstein is different, man. They were investigating Jeffrey Epstein. None of these FBI agents were in there. That's the whole thing. Charlie Kirk, the man that's celebrated around the world, they're gonna botch an investigation to push some conspiracy on the American people. That alone should tell you that you're silly. What's the other conspiracy that they have? They said that the dude was a Republican. Stevie Wonder can see that he ain't no Republican. The only reason somebody would kill another person is if they vehemently disagree with the person. And you could tell by looking at him that he's silly and he a weirdo. Even his roommate said even his neighbor said he was a weirdo. And the little cat lady he with that's transitioning is a weirdo. We got that clip. Let's play the clip so people know I ain't just make this up. This is allegedly a roommate or a neighbor. It does not mean everything the neighbor say is true, but you can put 2 and 2 together and realize the neighbor statements is consistent with what the dude looked like and what his behaviors were. Roll the clip.
With him.
Were they holding hands?
Yeah, they were. So, yeah, they drove off in his car, the Dodge Challenger.
The time you saw them or this week?
It was about the time I saw them. So
how long ago was that?
I would say about 2 weeks ago.
And so they looked like they were couples?
Yeah.
And he was dressed all in black?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, that's enough. We don't need to hear all that. You see his teeth like this and his eyes droopy, and he a weirdo, dude. And it makes me mad because people are diverting responsibility away from the real issue to push conspiracies. And I'm finna keep going. It's gonna get crazier as this show go along because I got a bunch of people I'm finna call out. But let's put this in perspective. The people that are saying this is Israel. If you are blaming Israel for the death of Charlie Kirk, you have no business being on the internet. Now, we live in America. You can do what you want to do, but I don't have any respect for you, and you are silly, and you're probably one of the most ridiculous people on planet Earth. If somehow there's real evidence that they did it, I'll come back and change it. But you got to be completely silly to use your time, effort, and energy to be focused on this when we got the man in custody. We got the confessions. We got all this. And you focused on some deep dive, secretive, no evidence-based stuff, disrespecting Charlie Kirk. That's just my opinion on it, bruh. You don't gotta like Israel. They gonna kill you. Let me tell you this. For all you weirdos out there that's pushing this, people saying now Charlie Kirk, towards the end of his life, he was turning on Israel. So what? If he was, it's America. He has a right to do that. But you think they killed him over it. I know a few people that was Zionist. Biggest Zionist in America. Bigger than Charlie Kirk as a Zionist. And they turned and they become the biggest haters of Israel. And they fine, but Charlie ain't fine. When Charlie's body of work, you would think he was Israeli. His body of work, that many of the truths that he told about his relationship with Israel, how he felt about Israel, is undeniable facts. Now, I don't know if he changed his mind, but if he did, Israel will take him out, but they'll leave the rest of the people who are even crazier than anything Charlie could have ever said about Israel. They are nuts when it comes to Israel. That means that these are people that everything that happened in life is because of Israel. The moon landing, Israel did it. Global warming, Israel did it. The fake news media on the left is Israel. Then the fake news media on the right is Israel. Man, walking through his room, stub his toe. A Jew made that cabinet. That's why I stubbed my toe on it. I swear, God is my witness. People, I swear, people, if you listen to them and you talk to them for 30 minutes, they'll blame a Jew for everything. They 401k not doing good. It must be because of Jews. I put my life on it, bro. Do y'all see these people? You can't do nothing without it being a Jew fault. It's crazy to me. Jews ain't that important. Can we just be honest? Then you telling me they in your bank, they living rent free in your head, and now they killed your best friend. They killed the person you love, the person you watch every day. The person that you go to his rally, you support him, and you be our biggest fan, and they didn't kill him. If you look at the TV and you look at the sentiment, there's only a few people that believe, and most of them are disingenuous, not all, but there's a few people that believe that Charlie Kirk somehow turned on Israel. But none of the Jews feel that way. Benjamin Netanyahu don't feel that way publicly. I can't find a Jew that's not celebrating Charlie Kirk's life and not out here mourning the loss of his life or the death of his body, because his life goes on. There's not one person out here that I've seen that's a Jew that's celebrating his death. Meaning that's mocking him, that's trashing him, that's saying he turned on us. I don't see a single video. You see one, send it to me. Netanyahu, whether you like him or not, you don't have to like the guy. But he did give Charlie a lot of love and respect on national TV in front of the world, on international TV. He showed a lot of love and respect for Charlie in word. But who do you see trashing Charlie in his death? Leftists. It's crazy to me. The people who are radical leftists, who hate us, who would love for us all to be gone. They say it. They try to attack us on campus. Their rhetoric is crazy. They're on the news calling us fascists, racist. They all day long, they're hating and being evil to conservatives. And they hated Charlie. They was evil to him at the rallies. They're evil to him at the events. They're crazy. They're diabolical. And in the reality that we know and we see and we have experienced is 100% played out in that nut that decided to shoot Charlie the other day. Why are we talking about Israel when it's clear that this is the enemy? You don't have to like Israel. Who cares, bro? You got a title to your own opinion. But this is the enemy. Whether you like Israel or not, you don't have to worry about losing your life. If these people are trying to kill us, they already shot Charlie. I saw another post where they saying they won't go after his family. They attack us every time we go to UC Davis. The Jews ain't attacking us. These nut jobs are. They are the problem. The hatred towards the left. They tried to kill Trump. They tried to kill Kavanaugh. They're in the middle of the street. They're bludgeoning people. They wearing masks. They burning buildings. When it don't go their way politically, they're burning stuff. They turn up communities. These people are clearly the problem. Goodness gracious. But then we spend time, effort, and energy talking about the Jews. I just want to make it very clear real quick, and I'm going to leave it alone. You don't have to agree with everything the state of Israel does, or the government of Israel does, or Jews. Do you think I look at a Jew and say, that makes sense that you don't believe in Jesus Christ? No, I don't. I think a person is foolish for not believing in Jesus. But that's my opinion. You got your own. You got your own opinion. I don't have to like Benjamin Netanyahu. Nobody paying me. I don't care nothing about this stuff. Outside of the lies that have been told and deception that has been going on that trigger me. Brandon just all of a sudden talk about Israel because I was chilling on it. I don't live there. I'm not Israeli. It's 2 + 2 is 4 to me. They bombed them. They try to kill all these people. They hold the hostages. Israel got to do whatever they got to do to get their people back and end the war. That's it. It ain't that hard. I don't need to think about it no more. I don't even need to talk about it. But then when I see the propaganda, then when I see the lies from the media, then when I see all this free Palestine, and these are the same people that were Black Lives Matter, the same people that acting nuts every day, being violent and crazy, and now they're on the side of free Palestine. Can't you see? It's the same soup warmed over. And the same people that they attack, which was white Christians, they attack police, They attack conservatives. They hate everything about us. And that same group that was saying Black Lives Matter was saying, wear your doggone mask and saying free Palestine. Same people. Same, the news media. Black Lives Matter is everything. They beat you over the head if you don't put a black box, all this other stuff. COVID, and Palestine. The media is doing the same thing. And people not catching it. All right, let's move on. Because I'm ready to bite some heads off. Next up is these pastors. These devils. And before I get too deep into conversations about the pastor, I do want to say this, and I meant to do it at the beginning of the show. I just want to pause real quick to say thank you. And I want y'all to slow down, take a breath, because this is important to me. I want to say thank you to every single person that went on the Tatum store and gone on the Turning Point USA's website and purchased merch for Charlie Kirk, proceeds going to his family. Now, I don't know what Turning Point is doing, but at Tatum store, 100% of the profit from these shirts go directly to his family. And I'll let Erica tell me where she want me to write the check, but it's going to his family. And you guys have showed out 12,000 orders, 25,000 shirts. And right now, roughly, because we got to try to do the numbers, you guys have helped in 48 hours. We had to shut the store down. You guys have helped in 48 hours to raise over $300,000 for his family so far. My goal is for us to write Erica $1 million check. And with all of us, we can get it done. We can get it done. And you get a nice shirt to support Charlie. So I have it on the website right now. We got it for pre-order because we got to deal with the 25,000 shirts that we're working with. There's some people locally that are here that are helping us and all that stuff. And we're all doing it for Charlie. There's volunteers that are coming in down here that are helping us fold, all for Charlie. And like I said, 100% of the profit. Don't buy this stuff from nowhere other than me or Turning Point USA, because all these other people they trying to make a profit. We are going to write that check. You're going to see that big old check. We're going to make a big check. And then we'll let Erica tell us where she wants us to go to, because she may want to go to charity or whatever. It don't matter. It's going to his family. So if you want one of these shirts, we have Freedom. They on the Tatum website. After the live, you can go there and get them, and we appreciate it. What a phenomenal team effort to do this. And piggybacking on that, when you looking at people online pushing conspiracy theories, somebody said GoFundMe over $1 million. And you know why I think this is still important? Because Charlie was rich, right? I bet Charlie was a multimillionaire, and I bet he was smart with his money. And I bet people from all over the world want to give to Charlie's family. However, my goal is for you to have an opportunity to give to his family, because some of y'all don't know them personally. So you have an opportunity to give. And also, unrealized gain is the biggest loss financially when a family lose the head of the household, because Charlie should have easily lived another 50 years. And 50 years of unrealized gain that could have been going back to his family and generations from Charlie is gone now. And so it don't matter if they at 12 million, 15 million, 20 million, 100 million. They raise 100 million for these lowlives who out here killing people, and they get killed by a cop and they raise 100 million. No, Charlie would have made 500 million over the time. Then we need to give that to his family so they can have a good life. And you know, they give back anyway. They changed the country, to be honest. She may want me to give it to Turning Point, which I'm fine. Wherever Erica say give, that check, I'm going to put the name wherever. $1 million check is what our goal is. Okay, let's move forward. Let's go to this pastor. And this why colored people get a bad rap. And I'm not saying all, because y'all think I'm saying all. I'm not saying all. It's the ones like this that make me irritated that black people can't do better than this. Why can't black people do better than this? Why we gotta be the per capita the most silliest people in America? This man is standing in his pulpit, supposed to be a man of God. he should have been reading his Bible. If he had any spiritual discernment, he would know he need to go listen to what Charlie Kirk said so he can have a fair assessment before he say what he about to say right now. Have you listened to Charlie Kirk's stuff before you get out here and say something about this man, the man of God? Have you listened to his stuff? Or are you watching clips pop up of people who hate him? A man of God allegedly get behind the pulpit in this congregation with no wisdom and say this. Roll it.
And I do not celebrate the killing of anyone. Charlie Kirk did not deserve to be assassinated. But I'm overwhelmed seeing the flags of the United States of America at half-staff calling this nation to honor and venerate a man who was an unapologetic racist and spent all of his life sowing seeds of division and hate into this land. And hearing people with selective rage who were mad about Charlie Kirk but didn't give a damn about Melissa Hortman and her husband when they were shot down in their home, tell me I ought to have compassion for the death of a man who had no respect for my own life. I am sorry, but there's nowhere in Bible where we are taught to honor evil. And how you die does not redeem how you lived.
Look at these sorry man. All right. Let him play. Finish it.
Do not become a hero in your death when you are a weapon of the enemy in your life.
I'm finna eat. Let him finish.
I can abhor the violence that took your life, but I don't have to celebrate how you chose to live.
Now you know you ain't got no connection to God if you talking like this fool. He said, think about this. He said, how do you have this feeling for Charlie Kirk, but you don't have this feeling for these two people that died? I guess they were politicians. Because they weren't people of God like Charlie was. Why do you think all these people crying? Why do you think all these people putting the flag at half-mast? Why do you think all these people are celebrating? Why do you think all these people are at their churches? They're doing their memorial services, flowers pouring out, buying merch, supporting Charlie. Why do you think people are doing it? Why do you think he got 1 million more people follow him on social media, millions more follow him on Instagram? We looked it up. 87 million views in a week of Charlie Kirk's material. Why do you think it's so? If you knew God and you knew the Bible, you would know because he's a man of God. And that's why it hurt when he died. And you don't even know him and it hurt. That's because somebody with that much power and that much authority and put God first in everything he did, you feel it when somebody like that die. If this pastor lost his life, nobody will come to this celebration but 3 people in this church. Because the Spirit of God in him is not powerful enough to make a difference. And if it was, he would have enough discernment to know that Charlie Kirk lived his life according to the scripture. And you may not like him telling the truth about you ignorant Negroes, but he told the truth anyway. You can't name a quote that Charlie Kirk said in context that wasn't true. You can't name it. You sorry pastors. And your church ain't nothing. You got people having kids out of wedlock in your church. They ain't married. They dressing like you know what in your church. You're not holding nobody accountable. And I don't know it to be his church, but a lot of preachers that talk like this, that's what they church be about. They out there screwing around on the weekend, getting drunk, smoking weed, and they come in your congregation, you put your suit on, you put your tie on, and you ain't got no Holy Ghost power. You ain't got no discernment. You pick black over Christ. You pick black over Christ. You ain't got no discernment. You don't have to like Charlie, but you're a fool if you say he lived this life according to the enemy. And you're supposed to be reading your Bible. What the next one at? The other pastor, Jamal Bryant. And I if you see that pastor or Jamal Bryant, when you pass, you know where you went. Roll the clip.
But even in a tragic death, you cannot rewrite somebody's life. And I am all the more concerned about how America and the media is trying to remix a life of racism and white supremacy that went forth unchecked. We cannot say somebody who called Ketanji Brown a DEI hire as somebody who is the face of Christendom when the person who said it dropped out of community college. You cannot say that the Civil Rights Bill should not have been passed and black people were in a better place in the 1940s when they had segregation and did not have freedom. You cannot say in no uncertain terms that George Floyd was a thug and Martin Luther King Jr. is not deserving of a holiday. My heart is mourning today from pastors and churches all over this country who are going to have moments of silence and celebrate somebody who is trying to take the nation backwards. But God, help me in here. I'm concerned about all of these Negro preachers who've been, in fact, talking about that this man that was killed was the answer to Christ in the earth. Y'all ain't saying nothing. They having moments of silence in black churches all over the country over a man that was racist and a white supremacist. How dare you compare him to Martin Luther King? The only thing that Charlie Crist and Martin Luther King got in common is both of them was killed by a white man. After that, they got nothing else in common.
This why y'all schools messed up. This why y'all communities messed up. This why y'all ain't never gonna make it nowhere listening to people like that. Listen how delusional he is. Charlie called. First of all, I know Charlie. I've been working with Charlie since 2017. We held the first Black Leadership Summit at the White House for Black conservatives to go. Never has happened in the history of the country. Charlie's idea. The white man you talking about, his idea was to galvanize, and you know who helped us do it? For you suckers out there, you know who helped us do it? We got one black man to donate us money to get all those kids out. We pay every single one of their airfare. We put them up in a hotel, and some of them ain't never been to the White House before. Some of them ain't never put on a dress before. They never had an occasion where they can dress up before. We paid for every one of them to get there. One black man gave 20 grand. Who was helping us raise money to get black people to the White House? White people. The man that stood next to me that would go to fundraiser to fundraiser, the woman that stood next to me to go from fundraiser to fundraiser to tell people about the mission that Charlie Kirk started was number white people. And then you turn around, that man ain't never been racist to me. Charlie ain't got a racist bone in his body. Y'all Negroes don't want to hear the truth from a black man. The funny thing is, you claim that it's bad that people are honoring Charlie Kirk and he was much better of a man than George Floyd. And y'all preaching at eulogies. Y'all giving a moment of silence in your church for a thug that robbed a woman at gunpoint, that spent his whole life degrading the black community, using drugs, stealing, and doing foolery. Wasn't nowhere near his kids. He wasn't doing nothing right. And y'all dumb Negroes are out here celebrating his life. But a man, because he's white, who honored Christ in everything he did, you now got a problem with it. Black folks at the barber shop talk about the same thing Charlie Kirk talks about. But y'all mad because he white. Anybody that is a scholar knows that the growth and success of black people per capita in comparison to the growth and success of every other race was disproportionately better in the 30s, 40s, and 50s than it is today. Now, you know it, the scholars know it, but if a white man say it, you got a problem with it because you the racist. Ketanji Brown is a let me tell y'all, Ketanji Brown is a affirmative action hire. Yo, white savior, Joe Biden is the one that did that. Charlie Kirk only spoke of what Joe Biden did. Joe Biden said, I'm going to pick a black woman. He didn't say I'm going to pick the best candidate. He said, I'm going to pick a black woman. That means I'm going to pick her color before her qualifications. Joe Biden said that. He made Ketanji Brown an affirmative action hire. And you mad at Charlie, but you're not mad at him. Joe Biden could have said, I'm picking the best quality person and picked a black woman. But that fool said, I'm going to pick a black woman, not the most qualified. Therefore, it eliminated the qualification that she was the best for the position. She just was the right color. You sorry son of a gun, man. I can't stand these people. I can't stand them. I can't stand them. Because that fool cheated on his wife. He at his second church because he cheated on his wife, having babies out of wedlock, got the woman pregnant in the church with his wife next to him. He the pastor. Jamal Bryant is the pastor screwing a woman at the church. And you talking about Charlie Kirk? You want Real Housewives. How many marriages are you in? Charlie Kirk been married one time to one woman. How many marriages you have? How many kids out of wedlock you got? You got kids coming out saying you don't even take care of your kids. Own kid come out and say Jamal Bryant ain't taking care of me. What kind of man are you? And Charlie ain't even a preacher. Let me just play this last one. It's going to really boil your blood. But this is about Charleston White. This is how black people think, and not all. Huh? Oh, you have it? We're not going to play it right now. We'll play it in post-production. But that Charleston White guy is a reflection of how a lot of black people feel because they silly. Listen, when you silly, you can't get blessed. Why do in the black community the highest murder rates, the lowest education numbers per capita, lowest income levels, highest abortion rate, lowest marriage rate, the highest rate of kids born out of wedlock, incarceration rate is the highest. And then we can go on TV, we can go on Instagram right now and find you dumb Negroes fighting each other and killing each other and thugging all day and stealing and being ghetto and twerking in the middle of the intersection. We can find, why is it like that? Because y'all ain't right with God. See, we used to be right with God. That's why our brothers had their pants around their waist. That's why our young brother, that's why we were doing good. We were flourishing. Our economic success was greater and growth was greater than those of white people at the time. We were married. Only 25% of black families didn't have a daddy in it. How did we go off the cliff? Because we went off the cliff with God. We started letting pastors like this get in the pulpit and get pimped out. Martin Luther King got pimped out. Your boy, what's his name? Reverend Al Sharpton, Reverend Jesse Jackson, they all pimped out. They sold their people down the creek. That's why you don't see black people improving after the civil rights. You see them going downhill. Downhill. And I'm black and I said it. And Charlie said y'all mad. Downhill fast. Because y'all don't believe in God. You just playing church. All them people in the amen a sinner. They still sinning. It ain't that they sinned and they found God and they repented. Jamal Bryant still sinning. He's still going to the pulpit with $400 shoes on, $1,000 shirts, $10,000 suits, and can't be faithful to his wife. All right, y'all. No, I didn't went hard enough. Okay. I could do this for 6 hours. I'm so sick of black people doing this. You ain't cute by bashing Charlie Kirk. because your stuff ain't in order. Ain't nobody gonna remember Jamal Bryant like they did Charlie Kirk. Nobody gonna half-mass for you. Because you wasn't a man of God. Ain't nobody care about Jamal Bryant is just another one in the street. That's all he gonna be. Then when he died, you're gonna find out like Martin Luther King that he having orgies and stuff. Y'all don't talk about Martin Luther King having orgies, do you? Oh yeah, let's not act like because of how he died, we're gonna forget how he lived. Martin Luther King wasn't living right. Martin Luther King had some good things that he did, but Martin Luther King was a Marxist. Martin Luther King ushered in something that hurt the black community more so than help. Y'all probably should have been listening to Malcolm X. I used to believe that Martin Luther King had a real dream. And then I realized that he wasn't doing nothing but exacerbating what these fools do today. Then they mad at the Jews because the Jews have a community and have wealth, and black people mad because y'all don't come together. Y'all too busy cutting each other's throat instead of helping each other. Y'all mad at me because the white man paying Brandon Tatum. How about you listen to what I'm telling you? How about you keep it real with me? Y'all know people that I grew up in an environment. I know what hood life looked like. I know what drug dealing looked like. I know what losing somebody to overdose looked like when you're a young guy. I know what getting tattoos and gold teeth in my mouth, gangbanging looked like. I know what it looked like. And they mad at me because I'm telling the world what they want to keep in secret. I know what it is. I know how dangerous it is living in the black community. I'm not just telling you something. I moved to the white community and I'm like, I can walk down the street and these white people. I used to be jealous of white people. I'm like, they just walking down. Look at these white people just walking down the street like they ain't got no care in the world. Because in their community is safe. In their community, people picking up trash off the street. In our community, we got trash stuff all over the street, broken down cars, nobody doing nothing. It looked like a pit. You don't gotta be rich to clean your house up. You ain't gotta be rich to cut the yard. They don't care about their community. Then they mad at the white man because the white people don't want to live around them. Nobody want to live around all that drama. Ain't nobody want to live around boosters coming to your door knocking, hey bro, you want these t-shirts that you stole? Ain't nobody want to be worried about getting shot and killed with somebody selling dope because you got caught in between some stuff that you ain't had nothing to do with. You going to college and everybody think you a sellout because you trying to make something better out of your life. You get straight A's, you trying to be like the white man. What? What y'all talking about? See, y'all done messed up because Brandon Tatum been to the hood and now I live around white people. So I know the two. I'm exposing y'all. I never live around a bunch of black people. I just won't. Because too many black people in one spot can't do nothing right. You get a sprinkle of black people, it's fine. You get too many black people in one spot, it's dangerous. I remember growing up going to Zoom In. Y'all on Lancaster in the freeway, Zoom In. It's like, I remember being a kid being scared. When I get out the car to go get some candy, I'm kind of scared. Because you don't know if some gangbanger gonna run up on you. You don't know you're gonna get caught in some stuff. They got bars on everything. As a young kid, I remember, man, I have anxiety going out. So when I got to college, I never partied. I never went to parties. Because when you're black and you live in a black neighborhood, going to parties lead to violence. I remember my friend, I'm gonna name names. I remember my friend Terrion. He on the internet. I don't even think he followed me. We played football together. We at Terrion party at the YMCA. And after the party, because it's too many black people, we go across the street. We get to the parking lot. There's 20 dudes across the street at the YMCA where we just came from, throwing up gang signs. And there's 2 dudes over here in the parking lot throwing them back. Crips, 2 Bloods. So now they got beef. The dudes come over in the parking lot. 20 dudes, or it was like 10 dudes, and these 2 dudes. So now they get over there, they jumping them. One dude run, the other guy just getting beat down in front of us. They kicking him, they stomping him, they beating this dude down. I guess the other guy went to get the gun. So now I'm an All-American football player. My brother's an All-American football player. Now, at this point, we weren't an All-American yet. But my brother was a star athlete. I was an up-and-coming athlete. We had a party just celebrating our other friend who's an athlete. And what do you know? Shots ringing out. We ducking, we dodging, we in the back seat, we hearing bullets hit cars and stuff. Like, we kids, man. We in high school. One more story for y'all. We at Dunbar High School. Look it up in Stop 6 in the hood. People used to come off the street in the school fighting people. I remember I got suspended because my girlfriend fought a dude. She won, even though she said she didn't win. That's why I came to the school and got crazy and they suspended me. But I guess while I was gone, they had 14 fights in the school. When I get back, I can still smell the pepper spray in the air. I come back from being suspended, I smell the pepper spray in the air. Right after that, AB or BA, y'all don't know him, so I can say his name. I ain't gonna tell you his real name. BA brother just got out of prison. Another dude, these dudes grown. They in the parking lot driving. One dude flashing money out the window and they almost crashed. So BA brother from prison and this other dude who brother go to the school, they almost crashed. So they get into it. BA brother who just got out of prison pulled a gun, and we got a police officer in the parking lot, a campus cop. He pulled the gun out the trunk on this dude in the parking lot in front of everybody. Everybody go to running. He jumps in the car. They both drive off. The cop drive off behind him. His brother just got out of prison, and this is what he doing because they flashing money in the parking lot to high school kids. Lil Flip came to our school. Lil Flip, if y'all know who Lil Flip is. Lil Flip came to our school, did a concert in the parking lot. This girl, her boyfriend fighting. She pepper spray him. He hit her in the face. He hit and knock her out, and they fighting in the parking lot. All right. It's enough, right, Nick? All right, let's go. Let's move on. What else we want to talk? So much stuff, bro. It's so much stuff. Where should we go next with this? Huh? Oh, yeah, the people losing their jobs. All right, let's play the clip of people losing their jobs, which people say, Brandon, you guys are hypocrites. Y'all want cancel culture. No, we want consequence culture. A private business can kick you out of their business if your conduct is unbecoming of an employee. So if you're going to mock Charlie, I'm not going to call in or whatever. I'll share your content, but you the one did it, not me. Y'all want us canceled for telling the truth. Y'all getting canceled and get kicked out of your job because what you're doing violates your job's policies. That's how y'all getting kicked out. Here's a highlight tape, just real quick for you guys, of all these nut jobs getting kicked out. Roll the clip.
What the fuck are you supposed to do when you get fired? You just take it? You just take it like a man?
Yeah, like a man.
I'm unemployed. What am I supposed to do now? Do I go home and goon? Like, guys, what do I do? Like, actually, like, what do you do when you get fired? What's the next step? Do you look for obviously you look for a job, but like, I ain't got no income now. I spent my last $300 on a parking ticket. That was on me. I did let it sit a little bit. It was like a $30 parking ticket. It went up to $300. I really don't want to talk about it, but what am I supposed to do, guys? Oh my God, this. You know when they say like once you get to a point in adulthood where it's not enjoyable. I don't know who said adulthood was enjoyable. I'm just kind of, but like, what am I? My gas? I haven't got enough for gas, guys. Oh my God, what am I? Is this what I can't do this? I'm supposed to do this for the rest of my life? Like I can't. What am I supposed to do, guys? Please, someone put financial tips. Oh my God.
I made some stupid comments about Charlie Kirk on the day that he was shot. I said some things on Blue Sky and on Threads that I'm sorry, not sorry for, but I said them and I deleted them when it was requested that I do so by my employer. And then today, on a weekend,
see crying?
I'm told that I am no longer employed at Microsoft.
Got fired on your day off.
After 6 years.
So?
Building the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Department from scratch.
Oh, you definitely should have got fired.
I lose my job.
Hold on, time out. I told Nick told me not to interrupt. Diversity and equity and what? This is what Amazon got lead the diversity, the whitest person on earth. Microsoft. What did I say? Amazon? Yeah. Microsoft. Blue-eyed, pasty, nose ringy. This is what y'all got in there. That's why you got fired. They fired you because you wasn't doing your job. It ain't nothing to do. Don't blame Charlie Kirk. You wasn't doing your job because you can't do your job. Equity and inclusion. You ain't nothing inclusive about this person. Maybe being stupid, but that's what you get. You should never say anything about Charlie like that. Quit, but y'all stupid, man. If Gavin Newsom got assassinated, and I'm not suggesting that he should, but if he did, man, I'm not finna get on there and brag about no Gavin Newsom getting assassinated, and I'm also not gonna get on there and get no condolences because they ain't none of my business. I don't like the guy. I don't know him. I don't like him. Ain't nothing I'm gonna say because if I can't say nothing nice, I'm not gonna say nothing at all. I'm not gonna be like, oh, he was a good man. No, he wasn't a good man. But I'm not gonna say that after the man then got killed. I'm just gonna shut up and move on. I'll report the news impartially. I'm not finna get on there and lie. He was a good man. He had a family. No, I think he was what he was doing was creating another family of leftist nut jobs, ruining California. He should go to prison. But if that man get killed all of a sudden, I'm not finna say nothing. I'm just gonna go on by my business. Anyway, roll the clip. There's more.
Random person reports my posts to my employer, goes out of their way to find out where I work, and takes my job, takes my security away from me for a thought, for an opinion, and you talk about freedom of speech like you care about it, and you're just going to take my money, my life, my food off my plate because I don't like Charlie Kirk? That's not okay.
It's a parody.
It's not okay to target me.
Oh, that weird.
Because I felt joy that day. I can't help how I feel. I felt joy. That's me. That's what I believe. That's what I think of him. I can't help that.
Yeah, you can help it because your job can't help it either.
So I don't deserve a job?
You fired from my fucking job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my job. I was just fired from my fucking
All right, listen. We're going to have to play it in the post-production so we can edit it out. But don't worry about it because, I wonder if people doing this is a trend. They going on and say, I got fired from my job. They do these things to go viral. When they ain't never, none of these people look like they ever had a job in the first place. Can we be honest? You look at this one. Where were you working at? A furry store? Where you working at? You ain't got no job to do with the nose ring. Bro, if this your reaction to getting fired, how you get hired in the first place? All these weirdos, they ain't had no job. Don't let them see. I think, Nick, I think this is parody. People that ain't got no job getting on here to go viral to say they lost a job they never had. Is it edited? Or is it censored?
I had it uncensored tool, but I played it wrong.
You playing the one that's censored now?
No.
Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll keep going. I think I've ran it enough. I'm just really upset about this crazy stuff that's going on. Don Lemon. I just want to play what Don Lemon said. We got the regular Don Lemon clip, not the one on the street, but the one where he was just standing there. We may not have that one either. Yeah, that one. Play that one. Roll it. All these idiots. And then after we play this one, we'll play the one of the young lady who was showing Charlie Kirk not being a racist. We'll play that next. Roll it.
So there is, this is sort of two different universes, two different worlds
that we live in here in America. And I'm generalizing because there are some folks, there's some in every bunch. There's some who are black folks who are like, yeah, I loved him or whatever. Okay, fine. But those are few and far between. Let's just be honest. And so for the most part, people don't understand, like, what is this, all of this flags at half staff for, when most people had no idea who Charlie Kirk was, by the way. You know that, right? I meet a lot of people out there and you see my lives. They're like, I didn't really know him. I just heard about him when this happened, because it was mostly for like younger people who are really politically activated, like college people who are, just wanted to, college people like to fight on campus. And when I went to school at LSU, we had something very similar, and it was called Free Speech Alley. I think Free Speech Alley is still there, where you could go to Free Speech Alley and you could say whatever you want. The thing is that you could then, and you would not get suspended or expelled or, disciplined for saying some shit. People just said whatever it is that they wanted at Free Speech Alley. Much of it was offensive, but I kind of liked Free Speech Alley. But that's not the America that we're living in right now. We live in an America of cancel culture, and it is the cancel culture on the right now that is leading the charge. And the hypocrisy, I've been writing something about this. The hypocrisy on the right about free speech is, it's off the charts. Because think about it. If you actually believed in what Charlie Kirk said he believed in, didn't quite practice all the time, is free speech, then why are you out to cancel people who are using their First Amendment right of free speech to tell you how they feel about Charlie Kirk by using his own words? It doesn't make sense, because Charlie Kirk didn't make sense, and so the response is irrational. So they're trying to, all these people are Nancy Mace and Megyn Kelly and all these people, they can't figure out how they want to respond. Is he a crazy, loony left liberal? Is he some sort of incel? Is he a furry? Is he whatever? Like they're spinning, trying to, how do we make this make sense? You can't, because it doesn't make sense. Because this is a myth. You're trying to build a myth on a myth.
All right, I'm done listening to that nut job. But the thing is that anybody that watched Charlie's content and you really was a genuine person, you may not agree with everything he said, but you could see that he said a lot of things in good faith. He made comments in good faith, like his arguments. There's things that I disagree with that Charlie said, but I don't think that he wasn't saying things that were in good faith. Like, let me give you an example. Unlike these other weirdos that claim they disagree with him, but they won't give you a good faith example. Like getting married young, having a bunch of kids young, having kids you can't afford. Like Charlie would say that, and I disagree with that. But I don't think what Charlie said was not right or in good faith. I just have a different of opinion. I don't think people should get married young. I think young men shouldn't even get married till they're in their 30s, to be quite honest. But that's just my opinion, and based on my lived experience. So there's things that you may disagree. That don't make him wrong. And I don't think he's saying it just for clickbait. I think he really believed that, because he was a little younger than 30 when he had his kids. You know what I'm saying? And I think if life turned out different for Charlie when he was a lot younger, he wasn't running a turning point, he probably would have had kids sooner. But what can you say against Charlie Kirk that was something that wasn't in good faith? Nothing. The stats that he talk about black people, all this other stuff. Juneteenth, I say the same thing Charlie said about Juneteenth. And because he white, black people can't receive it. Not all, but most black people can't receive it. So I don't know, man. Well, somebody said life is short, so get married young. I don't believe that. You don't know how long life is. People say life is short and they live to 70. And they tried to rush everything in life and didn't really accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. I'll say this, and I believe this with my whole heart. Young men should model themselves after Charlie Kirk when it comes to this. What did Charlie Kirk do? Charlie Kirk built an empire. He was busy flying around the country, building. he shouldn't have had a wife and kids at the time when he first started, because he wasn't going to be there for him. I remember Charlie Kirk, I went to dinner with him. That boy had a garment bag with this thick. A garment bag is for one garment. Charlie had all his clothes in his one bag, folded over in the garment bag, because he's just going from state to state to state to state. He couldn't be a good father like that. So what did he do? When he established himself in a position where he could have time to be married and could have time to have children and be a good father, he waited till that time. And also when he met the right person, that's when he made that decision. But I'm going to do this real quick, because I think we're done. I'm going to end the live stream. I love you guys. Let me grab some super chats. But I see that somebody's going, Candace Owens is going live right now. I can see her live stream. And I'm not going to say nothing about it. But I want some of y'all to go to her live stream. I ain't watched it. I'm looking at the title. She got 188,000 people watching this live. Almost 200,000 people. And I want y'all to go and see what she say and write me a message back and tell me what y'all think about it. I haven't watched it. I'm going to go watch it later. I'm looking at the title. This better be interesting. That's all I got to say. But all right, man, I love you guys. Thank y'all for supporting Charlie and getting those shirts. Just so you know, we're knocking them out as we speak, trying to get them to you as soon as possible. And then we'll continue to do as many as we can and get the family as much money as we can raise. So appreciate that. George Smith, thanks so much for the super chat. I see Bree Cruiser, thanks so much. The conspiracies are so disrespectful. I agree. They say that we are using cancel culture while they are using assassination culture. We're not the same. 1,000%. You couldn't have said that better. Yeah, we want them to lose their job because they violate their work policy. They want us to die. Everything is Israel's fault. Are we shocked? That was the conclusion. Yeah, right. Dang. They run the FBI. They run Donald Trump. They run our military. They run our gas companies. They run our banks, but they can't run their own stuff. Like maybe I'm not. Maybe I need to watch this video. Maybe I need to. Israel can't run their own stuff, but they can run our stuff behind the scenes. The way they talk about Israel should never be attacked by anybody. That stuff should all be worked out. We're not getting attacked. So Israel run America, in which you will never see attacks on us like they get on them. But somehow they can't do the same for their own country. We give them $3.8 billion in military aid every year, and they got to give 75% plus back to us to buy all of our equipment. Equipment that we know we give them, that we know what the capabilities are, and we limit the capabilities in aircrafts and stuff that we give them because they don't have the same stuff we have. Oh, so they run our country, but we give them hand-me-downs. They run our country, but we got to bail them out. Why can't they run their country like they run our country? Oh, because they don't run our country. The FBI needs to go back and look at Discord when Thomas Crook shot President Trump. Look more going here. You know, look like more going on. I think it's a ring of these people. I think they're indoctrinated in a circle. Like they feed off each other, they copycat, and they're talking about what they want to do behind the scenes, and then they start getting out of this indoctrination camp and doing stuff. Everything the left uses to control is out there in the open, ripe for the pickup or the picking. You just need to choose the right path and avoid the distractions of the side quests. For the side quest is where reality becomes delusion. I agree. Brandon, a mama here. This has nothing to do with the truth. You can't argue with subjective ideology. You will not correct Satan or his followers. Much love to you, Brandon. Do not let them have your peace. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. God so loved even this world, he sent his only begotten son, that whosoever believe in him shall have everlasting life. I don't know what kind of pig Latin you wrote on that last part, but I get exactly what you're saying. Jeff, thank you so much. Let's see. Ronnie, can we just go back to the days before social media, before we had all these internet detectives? This gets old. Prayer for your team, Brandon. I appreciate that. Let's see. Mambo. Today is Charlie Kirk's tomorrow. Let's see. Today is Charlie Kirk. Tomorrow, ? It'll be all conservatives if we don't stop them. I don't even feel at ease watching conservative content in public. That's crazy. Yeah, I know the feeling. But don't get dismayed. Maybe I should have came on here and gave some words of wisdom. I'll do it next time. Tatum, do you have moderators? I don't, but maybe we should make her a moderator. Let me see if I can make her a moderator. I thought you could make them moderators right here. We need to pick a few people to make moderators. I bet people out there cutting up in the comment section. And now I can't get the moderation thing off the screen. There we go. You see TYSM for saying something and standing up for Charlie, even at the risk of disagreement with people you love. Been praying for you and your family a lot more. Is on you now. But you can carry the torch. 100%, man. God ain't make me no punk. Getting ready to purchase Charlie Kirk merger right now. I am unhappy with the Lucas, but I have to be Christ-like. Charlie would be. Lucas has been disrespectful towards the Kirks. Thank you. I'll say, that dude's a nut. Amazing Lucas. And you look at his views, he doing it because he's getting views. That dude ain't got no sense whatsoever, bro. He lost his path a long time ago. Whoa, Mr. Tatum, love your broadcast now, but please calm down. You are gonna have a stroke if you don't, but you're sure telling the truth. But they people give me work. I get worked up over some of this stuff, man. I get worked up. Tatum, the whole situation reminds me of the comic Civil War, when Spider-Man spoke to Captain America after trying to expose Iron Man, and Captain America's advice to him. All right, I love that. Appreciate it. Thank y'all. I'm just reading. I got to go through the bigger ones to read. I already bought every shirt for Charlie, going back to order more for my 16-year-old son who loves Charlie and wants them. We are Charlie. I love that. I made a comment on a video one time that being clear isn't synonymous with being rich. You can go to the dollar store and find an organization. Oh, being clean, she said. I said clear, being clean. Women were so mad at me for that comment. 100%, bro. You don't have to be rich for you to clean up your bedroom. I remember going to a trailer park when I was a cop, and we used to have to go calls for service. And there was people in the trailer park area. House looked like a hotel room. It's neat. It smells good. It's clean. They got pictures on the wall. They trailer on the outside look like everybody else's trailer, but in the inside it's clean. I'm like, they trailer was so clean. I said, why do I not live in a trailer home? Why am I spending all this money to do this? And I can make my trailer home just nice and clean. Just like I do my bedroom or wherever I want to just hang out at, I can hang out in my trailer home and I can save a lot of money. They give you the illusion that trailers all run down and everything. That lady trailer was nice. You go into some people, they got poop all over the ground. You know, it's just like, you ain't got to be rich to be clean. But I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave. I'm a proud American from my birth to the grave. 47's the top. Took a bullet for all. Didn't flinch, didn't run, still